Hello everyone and welcome to this POV review by AutoTopNL. My name is Max and today is a very special day because we are taking a look at this Lamborghini Huracan Performante, which is probably one of the most highly anticipated cars of this year. And speaking of highly anticipated, we've launched our watch brand and well, this is our first watch. It's called the Chicane. You can check it out at ignitioncollection.com. It's a limited run, 25 pieces, really cool stainless steel with lightweight rubber strap, and we are super proud of it. So if you're interested, take a look at ignitioncollection.com. One of the most highly anticipated cars of this year, and very controversial actually as well, because they built this car to beat the Nürburgring lap time record for production cars, and they did. It's a very quick car and very capable as well. Today we are going to drive it around here, this lovely road, but it's a bit damp as you can see, so luckily we have it for 2 days and tomorrow we are taking it to the AUTOBAHN. So stick around if you want to see the POV review part on the AUTOBAHN. So let's start by the exterior of this car, because this is one cool car. I think this is the right color for this car, because this is Giallo Inti, yellow, and especially in combination with all those black and carbon fiber parts, that just looks insane. So let's just get started and start with one of the coolest features about this car and one of the most impressive ones, the ALA system. So Aerodinamica Lamborghini Attiva. Which means that it has active aero, and that in itself is nothing new. We have some flaps in here in the front splitter that open to relieve the pressure on the splitter and reduce drag. Moving on, we have these little air scoops that suck air into these struts of the rear spoiler, which is a masterpiece and a piece of art in itself. So air goes through these struts, and there's a little valve in here which can open and close, obviously. So when it's closed, this just acts as a regular wing, so vertical downforce. But when it's open, air goes through here and comes out underneath here the spoiler. So it breaks the air, so to speak, and it reduces drag as well. So that means that you can actually vary the amount of downforce being pushed on the front and the back of the car, which is really cool. And then they even went one step further and they introduced something called Aero Vectoring, which means that this is split, or from here, I don't know exactly where it is, maybe from here. And they can vary the downforce on each side. So they can open this one and close this one, which means there's more pressure on this wheel, on the inner wheel, for example, which means you can corner faster and accelerate out of corners quicker. So that is really something special, and really crazy that it comes from Lamborghini, who were always about, you know, big engines and just going fast in a straight line. So all the carbon fiber parts you see around the car, so the spoiler, the rear bumper, we've got some stuff in here, I think, yeah, there, down there, and at the front as well, and in the interior. That's all made from forged composite. So that's a type of carbon fiber where they sort of chop up carbon fiber and they put it in a mold with resin, and then it gets pressurized and it just forms this really cool marbled carbon fiber. And this is actually trademarked by Lamborghini, and they developed that together with Callaway Golf for the Sesto Elemento a couple of years ago, and Callaway Golf made a driver from it. So this is actually cheaper to make than the regular laminated woven carbon fiber, but I think it looks really special. And when you take a look inside, you know, we've got all these trim pieces that are in the same material, a lot of it down here, back there on these, and there you can see forged composite. So another very cool feature. So the engine 5.2 liter V10 with a gold cover, really cool. This is actually plastic to save weight again. 640 horsepower, 600 Newton meters. So that's 30 horsepower up from the standard Huracan. And well, let's start with one downside, or at least what I think is a downside. You know, you have all this crazy carbon fiber here and there and there and there and there, everywhere. And you know, obviously they weren't cheap with the carbon fiber. So why not make this carbon fiber as well? Because this is really cheap and it cracks a bit, and it's just, come on guys, that would have been really cool. But alright. So we've got the drama from this flip up thing, like you're in a fighter pilot. We know it already from the Huracan. So let's open the window and start it up in Corsa. Why not? Okay, so we're going to start in Strada. Close this, pull the pedal, which is also made from that very cool forged composite and just looks incredible. And we're off. So Strada means street. So this is the least hardcore version of the driving modes. And we're in automatic. So we're not in automatic. We are in automatic now. So if you drive it like this, that's one of the many great things about a Huracan, is that you can just drive it really easily. It's not intimidating. It just drives like a normal car, and you know, the steering is light, you have an automatic gearbox, the visibility is okay. I think the windshield is just really narrow, but other than that, it's just a normal car. You've got your MMI system, you can operate from here, you know, heated seats, everything. And I think that's really cool. So that daily usability supercar, did they ditch that idea to you know, to be able to make this Performante, the really hardcore high performance version? Well, no, because like this, it still drives like a really normal car. Normal. So they did actually stiffen up the suspension. Roll is down by 15%, or the roll stiffness is up by 15%, but the suspension itself is only stiffened by 10%, because you know, they wanted to beat the Nürburgring lap record, and they had to still have quite compliant suspension, because the Nürburgring is not that smooth. So all in all, suspension wise, normal drivability wise, it's still very impressive. It's not even that hard. Okay, so let's switch to Corsa, so the race mode. We are in manual mode right now, so I use the pedals for that 7-speed dual clutch gearbox. And there, oh my, this is, you know, we already know this engine very well, but in this car, it gets that little bit extra. That 30 horsepower extra comes from titanium intake valves, a different exhaust, which is more free-flowing and shorter, and it actually saves 10 kilos, and a more free or less restrictive air intake system from the Super Trofeo race cars. So that adds up to 30 horsepower extra. So all in all, they saved 40 kilos compared to the standard Huracan, which isn't that much. So this was supposed to be a Superleggera, but because they didn't really save that much weight, and it was much more about performance than about lightweight, they called it the Performante, which I think is a really cool name. And well, the biggest difference with this car compared to a standard Huracan is that it's much more urgent, violent. That V10 sounds even more crazy than before. I mean, that is lovely. And this road surface is really bad, but it just copes with it. We are actually on winter tires, unfortunately, so we have a bit of sliding around, especially on the braking. And you know, for the Autobahn that's not ideal because they are limited at 270, but you know, there are so many safety margins built in that I think we can go a little bit faster, but we'll see tomorrow. So we also have a quicker steering rack, and I think that's also a big difference compared to the standard Huracan. And the steering ratio actually changes with the driving mode. So the rack becomes even quicker in Corsa mode, and the turn-in is so direct. It's so much more neutral than the standard Huracan. It's just one of the best turn-ins I've experienced ever. And that turn-in is, you know, I'm experiencing that on winter tires, but this car comes standard on Pirelli P0 Corsas, and you can even go for the Trofeo R tire as an optional extra, which would be, you know, that's the crazy sticky tire. But that all-wheel drive system just pulls you through every corner, even though we are on winter tires and it's a bit wet, and even though the system has been made even more rear biased. So it already was, but now, you know, with that sharper turn in, the rear end is actually the first one to go, while in the standard Huracan it was always the front end, or most of the times. What strikes me most about this car is that it was so highly anticipated. There were very, very high expectations for this car, and it delivers. It's controlled lunacy. It's like, you know, the lunacy from Lamborghini with the sensibility of Audi, and this is the pinnacle of their, you know, their marriage. It's just, it all comes together so nicely, and I'm truly deeply impressed. I think the best way to describe this car, which is, it's quite hard to describe an experience which is which is so exhilarating and exciting and just plain ridiculous. You know those war movies and documentaries and stuff where they throw a grenade into a bunker and it explodes, and you actually don't see anything on the outside, just some smoke and dust coming out of the windows of the bunker. That's how I feel in here. It's like, when this happens, oh, it's like completely insane in here, but still very composed and compliant, and that's just an insane combination. So let's take it to the Autobahn, well, tomorrow, and continue this review over there. So here we are at the Autobahn, and well, we are going to set it up for the Autobahn run and the Autobahn POV, or the Autobahn part. So let's check out the tires, if everything is okay here. This is the first problem. We have Pirelli Soto Zero 3 winter tires with a 103W code, so that means that they are limited to 270 kilometers an hour. So I'm going to try to go a little bit faster, but not too much, unfortunately. 305 section in the rear, really big tire. Man, I could just walk around it forever. So let's get in. set it up. So this is our GoPro session for the speedometer. And this I wanted to tell you something about. This is a Get Montar or a Montar phone mount. We got a lot of questions from people asking which phone mount we use for the Autobahn POVs. And we used a few, but this is the best one we've had so far. So we got in touch with Montar and we arranged a discount for you. So if you go to the link in the description, use that and use the code AutoTopNL, you get a 15% discount on the phone mount. So, you know, if you want one, go check it out. I'll set it up right here and put the phone in. So, because people were stealing our videos, we use this logo. So people who see it know that it's ours. Let's get rid of this. So, yellow seatbelts, really cool. And Top Gun starter button. Okay, so as you can see here, the active aerodynamic system is initializing. Okay, so let's go. Woohoo! Man, this thing is fast! Holy moly! Holy moly, this thing is quick! Woo! That was 321. Oh man! Oh, it's insane! It's ridiculously quick! Woo! That was the first time I took it on the Autobahn. Man, that is impressive, let me tell you. Oh, that's crazy. So, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, 2.9 seconds. But even more impressive, 0 to 200 in 8.9 seconds. That's insane. Okay. Oh, it's so much more angry than a standard Huracan. It's just... it's a lot more urgent and violent. Oh man, oh, I'm already here. That's really quick. Oh, wow, that will get your juices flowing, I'll tell you. Oh my god. So in that turn, you actually feel the winter tires going off a bit. But other than that, I mean, at high speeds, this is a really good winter tire. Oh, Jesus, it's so aggressive. Oh, man. Woo! Oh, that's nice, man. That is really, really nice. So that active aerodynamic system, I already explained how it works, but you know, now you know how it works. On the Autobahn, that means that at high speeds it will change. that rear wing, those airflow systems will guide the air so that it will have less downforce and, you know, move more smoothly through the air, which results in a ridiculous level of acceleration, as you just saw. I mean, this thing is ridiculously quick, and it keeps going. It's like from 250 to 300 it's insane. Okay, that's nice. Thank you, kind sir. There we go, 7,000, 8,000 RPM, just before 9,000 RPM, shifting. Oh, carbon ceramic brakes work really well as well. There we go, rev limiter. Oh! Oh man, that's 290, 300. Oh! Jesus! That rev limiter is ridiculous as well. Oh man, this car is so violent. The experience is so much more intense than in the standard Huracan. It's just... And we drove one with an FI exhaust, so... and with an Akrapovic exhaust, and those were really crazy on the overrun, on the downshift, those bangs and crackles. But this just sounds, especially at the top of the rev range, it's just so loud and hard, aggressive. Man, there are just not enough of those words to describe how ridiculous this car is. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm sorry for all the weird noises that are coming out of my mouth, guys, but it's not something I can control. It just happens. Oh, I think you can imagine. So guys, that's the end of this POV review. I hope you enjoyed it. You can subscribe by clicking on the little icon in the bottom right corner, and you can check out our watches at ignitioncollection.com. I hope to see you at the next one, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks guys, bye.